Okay, so here we are in Photoshop with our new cool image. It looks pretty sweet so far, honestly. Stars are looking sweet. A couple of galaxies over here. There's our little loop-de-loop. I think my favorite galaxy, though, is somewhere along this edge. Looks just super cool. It's got like a little S shape to it. I think a couple of galaxy clusters too. Only like 2 hours of data. Yeah, you scroll over. So this is just a full-size image. We're definitely gonna be cropping down, I think, to like this much, just so we don't have to deal with that. Or sorry, we don't have to deal with that. Okay. We want to open H. We want to open. Oh. No, go away. We want to open O. It's pretty wild. Obviously, our framing definitely changed over those 100 hours. Very clear the difference between these two. Oh, I'm an idiot. Maybe that would happen if I clicked too fast. Okay, so the way I'm going to combine these is actually pretty simple. So I'm going to turn this into a colored image. And I'm going to change the hue. I didn't want bridge. Alright, that's cool. I'm going to change this hue to, let's say, a red. I think that looks cool. So we're just adding the hydrogen, so it doesn't need to look all too great. In fact, I think that looks okay. We can clip it a little bit because we're not, making this super fancy. And we can copy this, then import it in, and then set this to screen. And bam. Now we get all of our hydrogen without blowing out the core, although I think we did that just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this. Just the core. Select the mask. We're going to make this not as can we make it not as red if that's possible? That's where we can go about it. I know what I could probably do. Is it the red that turned it into overbright? No, it's not. Okay, knew it. Just this. There we go. There we go. Okay, that looks a lot better. Wow. That looks pretty sick. Oh, maybe that... Oh, no, that jet is real. Wow. Okay. There's a bunch of little planetary nebula here and there. Oh. Wow. Holy shit. I'm gonna just list my friends real quick. Okay. I think that is a combined image, I'd say so. We are going to make the background less red though. The way we're going to do that is by still want the background to be red. Pretty sweet, dude. I think that's how the bubble should look, right? Yep. Alright. Now it's on to oxygen. So, with oxygen, it's the same kind of process. Turn this into an RGB colored image. Hue and saturation. Colorize. Light. Saturation. I think right there is good. I don't know how it's gonna react when I add it in because of all the oxygen stars. No, I think it acted perfectly. So I definitely don't want to blow out the core though. That is an issue. Alright, so oxygen's definitely blown out a little bit. These two parts are the only parts I'm worried about. The highlights being blown out. Let's see how that looks. Pretty wild. Yep. Holy wow. Oh shoot. Before I combine them, I do have to fix that. Get somebody pixel peeps. There we go. Oh, we have right there too. Cool. Alright, that's just to fix up the backgrounds a little bit. That's how dim that nebula is, by the way. I don't want to just, yeah, I think we'll keep it the same. That's pretty sick. too much. That's a lot. We're gonna select this. Yeah, because that's not block up there. I think it's just mainly those two. Oh. Okay. So I'm just making the small final corrections, just to make sure it's kind of good. And also, this is also just to get rid of the brightest regions, just to make not completely getting rid of them, obviously. Just making them a little dimmer. So it's still oxygen. I think it'll be okay. Guess we're done. Before I do that though. Alright, just making sure the colors are exactly how I want them. See, that's good. So I guess we'll keep all the stars. So we can create a who image. Alright. I think that's good. See, I want to do that to the stars. They changed a lot of stuff. Yeah, no. I like the way it looks. Oh dear lord. I think it's good. A little bit of contrast. I don't want to overdo it. That's a good idea. There we go. That's a beautiful M33 right there. Oh, wrong one. That makes it look a lot better. So we are done with M33. Here it is in oxygen. This is pretty amazing. We're just gonna scroll in so I can show you some cool details. So first off, I have made 3 new unofficial discoveries. There is McCollum Unexplained, McCollum Extragalactic Unknown 1, or sorry, 3, MEU 2, and MEU 1 over here. So, there they are. Here's the Bell Nebula, since it kind of looks like a bell to me. I actually don't know if that's a planet. I don't think it's a planetary nebula. You can see it in RGB, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, I'm just gonna explore this image in RGB and also hydrogen. Yeah, actually, let's just do that real quick. Alright, so here is all of ours. Alright, so I'll start with RGB. This data is pretty sweet, not even gonna lie. The stars are pretty sweet. You can see the long line of stars inside of the galaxy. You can also see where some nebula are hiding. So this is a nice H2 region. There's also NGC 604 right over here. There's the loop. I call this little loop nebula. It's got a little nice loop to it. This is very bright hydrogen. There's the Infinity cluster, or the Infinity star cloud, as I should call it. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Nothing to say. I really like the process I did here. There's a couple background galaxies. I'm pretty sure if I scroll in, we'll be able to see a couple. Oh yeah, there's one. I think that might be 2. there's a really bright one up here. It's pretty big. Yeah. It's a bunch of little guys. I don't know what that is. Does that show up in oxygen 3 at all? It does not. Okay. About to say. Yeah, there's no O3 dots out here, fortunately. That's what we will get to. Anyways, that's our LRGB data, which is pretty sweet. I think the spiral arms are pretty well resolved. Let's move on to hydrogen, which was pretty sweet. So, I'd say like, if you wanted like an hour of data, that'd be it. Maybe like 3 hours. And over time, it just slowly just gets better and better until like, yeah, I'd say like usually at like this point, this is when like everyone stops. Can barely see it, but it's there. Just enough to make it pop a little bit. And then more intriguing, we'll probably go over here, then probably stop here. But I went 100%. So this was pretty sweet looking. Yeah, it's just pretty sweet looking data. You can see some planetary nebula. You can see exactly the stars that are causing them too. The recently discovered nebula up here, which was discovered in oxygen, which is also extremely bright in oxygen, I should say. It also shows up in hydrogen emissions. So that's a new planetary nebula right here. There's a bunch of little guys here. I don't know if... Oh, you can spot the stars that they're emitting from. Look at that. I think these actually might be clusters, or even like nebula. Like these are like tiny, like maybe like Pac-Man nebula sized. Maybe. These are very tiny. Also, my newly discovered nebula, they do show up in hydrogen just a little bit, but not too much. One thing I did notice though was that we didn't spot a pillar of hydrogen emanating from NGC 604. There also might be like an extra loop over here, but this pillar is clearly defined. It does show up in oxygen as well, very slightly, but hydrogen is obviously the one it's emitting from the most. No, I do not know. Okay, so that's a star. I don't know if these two are connected. I feel like that'd be kind of sick if they were. Here's our Heart Nebula. I've been staring at this since like day one when it was in oxygen. It looked like that. But yeah, there's a couple of planetary nebula. Like little stars that show up. Which are pretty sweet looking. There's our little Loop Nebula. I don't know if that's a planetary nebula. It does show up in hydrogen just a little bit. Actually, there is a loop. A little bit, I can spot it. And oxygen shows up a little bit too. Screen real quick. Oh, no, we can't. Sweet though. I think it's lighter color, right? Yeah. But yeah, so this even shows up in hydrogen as well. Yeah, I love seeing like the stars that they're emitting from as well. I think that's just so cool. Though this very bright part of the cluster, that's emanating a lot. Thor's helmet down here. It emits in both. I'm just gonna change this back to normal. Sweet. This, I call it the Angel Nebula. It looks pretty sweet as well. It shows up in oxygen. Now, what I found quite interesting was that the core is not very bright in hydrogen, so it makes it very easy to do a continuous subtraction. Actually, is it here? Oh wait, final. Yeah. There's our hydrogen data. This looks super sweet. You can see where all our planetary nebula friends are. It just looks so cool. But yeah. And then I'm just gonna quickly go over these last few things. This bubble is pretty interesting. It's mainly bright in oxygen, but the bell up here. So MEU1 up here is it shines a little bit in hydrogen, but not by much. But the one thing is that MEU1 it shines probably from a Wolf-Rayet star. So right here is, let me see, MEU1, Wolf-Rayet, and then 2011, and its red ascension declination. There's also MEU3 and 2. All these have Wolf-Rayet stars at the center of them. I don't know why that is. These nebula are huge. Like, they're thousands of light years large. I think this one's like over 1,000. No, this one was over 1,000. How that's possible from a Wolf-Rayet star, I have no idea. But it would be something to research, since most of them are only like singular light years in size and not thousands. Might just be an O3 cloud though, but who knows. It does show up a little bit in hydrogen. Yeah, this is just cool data. Hydrogen shows up in so they're dominant in oxygen, but they do show up in hydrogen. But yeah, I'm gonna work on getting the hydrogen emissions outlined. So thank you all for watching this really long progression on my project. I think I'm gonna take a break from 100-hour projects for a little while. Good night.